if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate.
After years of dominating discussions and often brushing aside opposing views on The View, Whoopi Goldberg finally faced someone who wasn't afraid to push back. And push back hard. What began as a typical on-air exchange quickly turned into a jaw-dropping confrontation that no one saw coming. In a moment that lit up social media and sent shockwaves through daytime television, Karoline Leavitt stepped into the spotlight and delivered a verbal counterpunch that left the studio in stunned silence. Leavitt didn't just argue, she dismantled. With razor-sharp clarity, she called out what she described as years of hypocrisy and double standards, pointing directly at Whoopi's record. It wasn't personal, it was powerful. And for once, Goldberg, known for her commanding presence and quick comebacks, had nothing to say. The tables had turned, and viewers could feel the shift in real time. Behind the scenes, the drama didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. ABC executives are reportedly scrambling, holding late-night emergency meetings as rumors swirl about major changes to the show's lineup. Speculation about firings is heating up, and for the first time in a long while, Whoopi's future on The View seems uncertain. So what exactly did Karoline say that cracked the studio wide open? Whatever it was, it's clear this wasn't just another talk show moment, it was a reckoning.
Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first.
The clash ignited the moment Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar decided to lecture Karoline Leavitt about the virtues of wokeness. What was meant to be a typical segment spiraled into a full-blown showdown. With her signature smug expression, Whoopi led the charge, dripping with condescension as she tried to paint Leavitt as out of touch. Joy chimed in with her usual sarcasm, tossing out a loaded jab. "Oh, so now we're judging women based on their looks?" The audience chuckled nervously, but Leavitt wasn't flinching. Instead of backing down, Karoline held her ground. She didn't raise her voice, she didn't have to. With calm confidence, she fired back with facts and pointed questions, exposing what many viewers saw as the panel's selective outrage and double standards. The energy in the room shifted, the laughter faded. Suddenly, it wasn't Karoline who looked out of place. It was the hosts scrambling to regain control of a narrative that was slipping through their fingers. What followed wasn't just uncomfortable television. It was riveting. For once, the predictable rhythm of the show was shattered, and the audience got something real, a bold, unfiltered.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
It was a statement so steeped in hypocrisy that it practically echoed, especially given the panel's long history of tearing down conservative women. But Karoline Leavitt wasn't about to let it slide. Without missing a beat, she leaned in and hit back with a question so sharp and direct it cut through the noise. "Whoopi, do you even hear yourself?" The words landed like a thunderclap. The studio fell silent. That one line, simple yet devastating, sent shockwaves through the conversation and beyond. Viewers at home erupted across social media, calling it the most satisfying moment in The View's history. Clips of the exchange spread like wildfire, with people praising Karoline for saying what so many had been thinking for years. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a reckoning. And in that instant, the power dynamics on set shifted. Perhaps.
Do you want to take this?
So, you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit of, well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark.
The tables had finally turned, and for once, The usual bullies weren't dishing it out. They were taking it. The smug dismissals, the eye rolls, the constant condescension that had become routine on The View were suddenly met with something they weren't used to, real pushback. Karoline Leavitt didn't just defend herself, she flipped the script entirely. In a space where conservative voices are often talked over or brushed aside, she delivered a moment of clarity that couldn't be ignored. The panel, so used to holding the upper hand, looked caught off guard, unprepared for someone who refused to play by their rules. And just like that, the dynamic shifted. The ones who usually controlled the conversation were left scrambling to recover while Karoline stood her ground and let the silence speak for itself.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good. So good.
The aftermath has been nothing short of explosive. Behind the glossy daytime smiles, insiders are describing the atmosphere at The View as tense, chaotic, and teetering on the edge of full-blown crisis. Whispers in the hallways from long time. Staffers suggest that this moment, this confrontation, might be the spark that ignites sweeping changes behind the scenes. Something has shifted, and there's no going back. The silence that followed Karoline Leavitt's pointed comeback still lingers in the air. "You sit here preaching about women's empowerment," she said, locking eyes with Whoopi. "But when a conservative woman succeeds, you claim it's because of her looks." That's the realism. You could hear a pin drop. Even Joy Behar, usually quick to interrupt, sat frozen, stunned into rare silence. But Karoline didn't stop there. She kept the pressure on, her voice calm and unwavering. "Wokeness isn't about equality anymore," she continued. "It's become a political weapon to silence anyone who disagrees. And Whoopi, you prove that every single day on this show." The audience gasped, not in laughter or applause, but in disbelief. It was raw, unfiltered, and undeniably real. Within minutes, social media was ablaze. Hashtags like IU Exposed and Hacha Karoline's The View began trending nationwide as millions replayed the clip, calling it one of the most unforgettable moments in the show's history. Whatever comes next, one thing is certain: The View will never be the same.
While I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Behind the scenes at ABC, panic set in almost immediately. Executives rushed into damage control mode, but the storm was just beginning. Word started leaking that producers were livid over how Whoopi Goldberg had handled the now infamous exchange. Sponsors, already growing uneasy with the show's increasingly polarizing tone, began voicing their concerns. Longtime viewers, once loyal to the brand, were suddenly turning their backs. Then came the shocker: Whoopi was noticeably absent from the very next episode. ABC issued a carefully worded statement, claiming she was taking time to reflect on recent discussions. But no one was buying it. The message was loud and clear. The network's golden anchor was officially on thin ice, and the fallout only grew from there. Ratings took a noticeable hit. Advertisers started pulling back. Internally, executives were left staring down a brutal decision: stick with the same divisive formula, or finally shake things up and bring some much-needed balance to The View. It's the billion-dollar question ABC can't avoid anymore, because while controversy has always been the show's fuel, the equation no longer adds up when backlash begins to outweigh buzz. The numbers speak for themselves. At this point, The View isn't just in hot water. It's dancing on the edge of disaster. The credibility that once gave the show its cultural clout is in shambles. Viewers are tuning out, advertisers are getting cold feet, and with Whoopi's absence, the message is clear. The show's foundations are cracking. For a show that's weathered decades of headlines, this moment feels different, final. like the beginning of the end. The question on everyone's mind, did Karoline Leavitt just deliver the final blow? Her takedown wasn't just another fiery moment. It was a seismic shift, the kind that doesn't just rattle a segment but threatens to bring the whole house down. Whoopi's mysterious disappearance, the behind-the-scenes chaos, the viral backlash, none of it feels like business. As usual, this isn't just scandal, it's reckoning, and it may very well mark the end of an era. So what do you think? Was this the most brutal moment in The View's history? Has Whoopi finally crossed a line she can't walk back from? Should ABC clean house and rebuild, or is it too late to save the brand? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you found this breakdown compelling, and don't forget to subscribe for more sharp takes and deep dives.